Today, we're digging into a foundational myth. One of those parables that really gets to the heart of what makes a hero. It's a story all about choice, about weakness, and maybe surprisingly, where real strength comes from. So settle in and listen close.
Every legend, every single champion has a starting point that truly defines them, and it's usually not what you think. The secret truth we're going to uncover today is all about a choice that was made not from a place of strength, but from a place of complete and utter defeat.
So, our story kicks off right here, in a land where the old magic is really just a whisper on the wind. This isn't a world that's crying out for a hero, and it definitely isn't looking toward the young man at the center of our tale. Let's go ahead and meet him.
This is Breen, and he's the exact opposite of the classic hero archetype. Yeah, he comes from a noble bloodline, but you'd never know it. He's quiet, he's uncertain, way more at home with dusty books than with swords and shields. Basically, he's invisible to all the people who are supposed to matter. I want you to keep this picture of him in your head, because it is absolutely crucial.
Okay, so every hero has to face some kind of crucible, right? A test that forges them into who they're meant to be. But what happens when the hero fails that test? Fails miserably? That's what we're about to see. This is the moment where everything changes, precisely because everything falls apart first.
It's just a complete and total collapse. He gets attacked, and he doesn't fight back, he runs. And his fear leads him right to his downfall. He gets thrown from his horse and is left for dead. This isn't just a physical low point, you guys. It's a spiritual one. He is broken, bleeding, and totally defeated by his own fear.
And it's here, at his absolute lowest, that destiny finally shows up. Not with a comforting hand, but with a challenge. Two figures appear, Merlin and his daughter Roma, and they give him a choice that is going to echo across all of reality.
The choice is laid out plain as day. On one side, you've got the sword. This thing represents the way of conquest. It's everything he just wished he had on that road. Power, glory, the raw strength to crush his enemies. But on the other side, there's the amulet. This represents the way of the guardian. It offers something completely different, duty. It's a harder, lonelier path that's not defined by what you can take, but by what you have to protect.
So he makes his choice from that broken place. Battered and absolutely terrified, he doesn't reach for the weapon of conquest. He reaches for the burden of responsibility. He gets it, in that moment of failure, that what he needs isn't more power for himself, but a reason to be strong for others.
And that humble choice, that's the catalyst. That's the key that unlocks the whole thing. See, this isn't a story about a man seizing power. It's about a man accepting a duty, and by doing that, becoming something so much greater. It doesn't respond to strength or bravery. It responds to humility. The magic wasn't sitting there waiting for a warrior. It was waiting for a guardian. The power isn't in the object itself. It comes from the worthiness of the choice to pick it up.
And this isn't just some magical power-up. No way. By choosing the amulet, he literally inherits the soul of his nation, all of it. The glorious myths, sure, but also the painful failures, the embarrassing moments, and that stubborn, gritty endurance of his people. He becomes a living, breathing embodiment of their entire history, warts and all.
The transformation is just absolute. The young man who is left bleeding and broken at the mouth of a cave rises up completely new. The uncertain scholar is just gone, replaced by this figure of incredible strength and purpose, reborn in light and crimson.
And that gives him his new title, and more importantly, his purpose. He is Captain Britain. But that title, it doesn't mean ruler or conqueror. It means protector. He is now the guardian standing at that critical point where the old world of magic and myth meets the new world of today.
But the story doesn't just end with the cool transformation. Merlin, the chronicler, leaves him with one last, vital piece of wisdom. And this, right here, is the moral of the entire parable. It's the secret truth at the heart of this hero's story.
The source of his power wasn't some hidden strength he never knew he had. Nope. It was the choice he made when he had absolutely nothing left. When he was at his most broken and afraid, he still chose responsibility over his own personal gain. He chose to serve.
And that's the ultimate takeaway, isn't it? True strength, the kind of strength you need to be a real guardian, it isn't built on power or might or even bravery. It is built on a foundation of humility and selfless responsibility.
So the parable ends by turning the question back on us.
In our own moments of trial, when we're faced with that choice between easy power for ourselves and the harder path of responsibility for others, what do we choose? That's the question every potential hero, every one of us, has to answer.